So in this video, we're looking at cell specialization. Now, cell specialization, okay, the word specialization, it's basically just an English word which simply means to focus on an area and become an expert in that area. Okay, that's what specialization is. So now, the way we specialize in certain areas in our lives, okay, when it comes to our jobs, that's the same way cells also specialize in the bodies either of a plant or an animal. Okay, so we looked at what cells are. Okay, we gave examples of different types of cells. Now we're looking at what we call cells that have specialized and they now have a certain particular function. Okay, so cell specialization is simply the process by which cells undergo specific changes in structure. So the structure will change, okay, and the chemical composition, okay, that is in the cytoplasm will change. This is in order for that cell to be able to perform a specific function that is specific only to that cell. Okay, so this is what we call cell specialization. So now cells, we said cells they come from pre-existing cells. Okay, so cells come from so let's say this cell is existing there, pre-existing cells. Okay, so you have the first cell here. Okay, so this cell, let's say it's an undifferentiated cell. Okay, it hasn't yet specialized. Okay, so it will divide through cell division and give rise to these cells and on and on. Okay, so now we find that these cells, as they're dividing, they are similar, most of them, in their structure, okay, and chemical composition. They are similar and they have the same shape, they have the same appearance. Okay, but then as time goes on, these cells, they begin to specialize, they begin to change in their what, their structure, okay, and chemical composition. Now this happens, okay, so that the cell can then specialize and perform a specific what, a specific function, which is very important. Okay, so cells arise from pre-existing cells, okay, by what, cell division. Okay, so we have cell division here, cell division, okay, from pre-existing cells. Okay, so cells keep on dividing, then they reach a level where now they start to specialize and differentiate. Okay, so now let's take a life case scenario. Okay, let's say you have pupils at the school, okay, SmartNet school. So these pupils get enrolled. Okay, they are all pupils, they're basically studying quite almost the same subject. Okay, almost the same subjects. Okay, so everyone at the school is called a pupil. Okay, so we think of these pupils here at SmartNet, we think of them as these unspecialized cells. Okay, wearing the same type of uniform, learning the same type of subject. Okay, at that level, no one is specialized. Okay, so let's say these pupils, they graduate from their secondary schools, they get enrolled at university, and this is the beginning of what? Specialization. Okay, so at the end of the university, okay, you now have pupils that become doctors. That's their specific function. Okay, pupils that become lawyers, that's their specific function. Pupils that become teachers, that is their specific function. So we call this specialization. So a doctor is specialized. Okay, he can never go and do what a lawyer does. Similarly, a lawyer can never go and do what a doctor does unless they specialize again, they go and study medicine. Okay, so from a pupil here, okay, we think these cells, okay, before they specialize, they get enrolled in university, then they specialize into different paths. Okay, so this is the same thing that happens in cells. Okay, same thing that happens in cells. So you have a cell here before it specializes. Okay, then it undergoes what we call cell specialization. These are specific changes, okay, in what? Structure and chemical composition, okay, in order for for that cell to perform a specific function. So you find that cells are rising like this. Others, they'll become red blood cells. Okay, we know the function of red blood cell seems to transport what? Oxygen around the body. Okay, that's what red blood cells are specialized to do, to transport oxygen. Okay, then other cells, okay, will specialize and become white blood cells. Okay, white blood cells, these fight against infection. Okay, fight against infection. Okay, the fight against infection. Others, they are going to contain what we call cilia, and they become ciliated cells, and these ciliated cells are found in the respiratory tract. Okay, they are found in the respiratory tract. The respiratory tract starts from the nose and up to the lungs. Okay, so you have these cells. Okay, if it's in a plant, other cells will specialize and become root hair cells. Okay, root hair cells, others will specialize and become palisade cells with a lot of chloroplast. Okay, others will become palisade cells. That is where? In plants. Okay, so this is very important, so that each cell, okay, cells have got a specific what? Function. Okay, cells are an expert. For example, the red blood cell is an expert in transporting oxygen, such that if you do not have enough red blood cells, okay, we refer to this case as what? Anemia. Okay, because red blood cells are specialized to carry out this job. Okay, so each and every cell in our body, a lot of cells, they are specialized. Okay, as cells grow, they specialize and have specific what? Function. Okay, so now the key important thing here, the take-home message here, these cells, they're going to have a certain part, okay, that part of a cell that enables them, okay, to carry out a specific function. For example, this, for example, in your red blood cell, this is hemoglobin. Okay, hemoglobin. This is what allows the red blood cell to perform its function. Okay, the white blood cell, you can look at its nucleus. Okay, they are made in lobes. Okay, the cilia there, you can look at the cilia here, the ciliated cell. It has this cilia. It allows it to perform its function. Okay, the root hair cell, it has got an outgrowth. Okay, which allows it also to perform its function. Okay, so cell adaptation. Okay, it's what? Part of a cell, it's adapted for that specific what? Function. Okay, so in my next video, we'll look at each cell one by one. We're going to look at the part of a cell that gives it that adaptation to carry out its function. For example, if it's the palisade cell, it has numerous chloroplasts, allowing it to perform its function.